have this. Setting goals as a partnership, this is what we're exactly talking about. Very vital to building your business, especially when you're having a partner, because your goals are vital to your success. Fuzzy goals lead to fuzzy results. Clear goals yield clear results. It's important to set goals to reach the following milestones in your career. So when will you achieve? And then going to the next slide. We're just going to share with you next slide. So everybody knows what this is, right? This is our financial house. So if you don't have the foundation set, how is everything else going to be? Your house is going to crumble, right? Same with your partnership. So I feel, you have to have your foundation set, but along with the foundation, you got to make sure where the foundation is laid, which I believe is our commitment to each other as a partnership, which is the next slide. And these are our commitments to each other. It's kind of like an unwritten law. The next slide. So this is not something that we just kind of decided to do. We just, these are just one of the top 5 that we feel is important. So the first one is we're making sure that as a partner, we communicate with each other. If we have any concerns, we don't just talk about the problem, we come up with a solution. The second one, we make sure we're on the same page. Our goal is to have consistency with our philosophy so that our team doesn't see that we're inconsistent. 3, no negativity. I don't say you should have done this or you should do that. We say, why don't we? Good job. I know you can do better, but I never, beat him up. I sure he doesn't beat me up when things don't go well. We always continue to self-improve, and our goal is to be the best example for our team as a great partnership, because we want to have great partners in our business, so in turn, we have to be the best that we can be.
And the next slide. And next, we want to talk about our goals and our whys. And first, what we do is we start off with our personal goals. And after we have our own personal goals, we share them with each other. We make adjustments to it. And her goals became my goals, and then my goals became her goals. And what we do, we change the days to where it's very specific. And sometimes you'll do more for others than you do for yourself. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
All right. So after that, we have our goals together, and we develop those through our personal goals. And we figure out what our why is. If you don't know your why, and you have to figure out and have one, because your why should make you cry. Because basically, your why should make you do the things you are afraid to do. Or when your things don't go your way, your why makes you get right back up. Right? And then what we do is, along with part of our foundation is, along with our commitments, is when are you going to get your life license? When are you going to get your security license? How many contacts you're going to make daily, weekly, monthly? How many phone calls are you going to make daily, weekly, and monthly? And then how many appointments are you going to set per day, and how many are you going to set per week? And we commit to each other. We're going to read a book a month. And the thing is, I wasn't like a huge reader before, but when I joined America, I found that you have to continue to self-improve because you don't want to be the lid on your team, right? And then the most important part right here is be specific. We learned that from Frank, and every time you have a goal, you want to be more specific about it as far as your dates, how many books you want to read, and everything. The more specific you are, the better your goals are going to be.
And the next one is your recruitment premium. Obviously, what's the life and blood of your business? Recruits, right? Recruits, and then that's the equal premium. So you want to know how many recruits you want to have each month. How many licensed agents do you want to have each month? What's your premium goal each month? And when do you want to go full time? Obviously, if you know how much your premiums are, then going back to your foundation, you will know how many contacts you want to get each day so that you can meet your recruits and your premiums and your goals. So you want to be specific with what you want, and sometimes you got to work backwards to find out, well, what do I need to get that? And so when you go to your income and savings, right, you want to know how much money do you need each month. Are you able to live off the Primerica income if you didn't have your job? How money do you want to make on a quarterly basis? You know, want to how much or when you want to make your 100K, 250K, 500K, your $1 million. You want to be very specific and very detailed on what you want. Because as Daniel said, whatever you ask for, you will get. And same with your monthly and your savings, monthly savings. When you want to save, how much money do you want to save each month, right? When will you save 100K, 250K, 500, 1 million? The more specific you can become, the more clearer your vision will be, and then you'll be more precise with your activity each month or each day.
And then next we concentrate on promotion. That's a very important part of our goal. Is when do you want to become a district? The exact date you want to do that. Division, regional, your RVP date. And when you get to RVP, when is your SVP date, your NSP date, and your SSP date? You know, the more specific you are when you want to do that, then you're being accountable to yourself, and that totally will help you in your business. Next slide. And then context too. Future jersey. You know, you got to find out when you want to get your future jersey, because not only do you want it, you should be number one, right?
Yes.
Rabaneros are here. They're number one in the future jersey. They'll be getting their number one jersey in Boca Raton in a couple weeks. So, but when is your date to get that future jersey? How many people do you want to go with you to Atlanta? You know, maybe not just you. How many people on your team do you want to go? And then the next incentive trip. How many couples on your team do you want to go with you to the next incentive trip? Maybe your $50,000 watch. When is that? Your $100,000 ring. So when would that be as well? And then when is it you can be financially independent? How much do you need to be financially independent? Find out how much that money is for you. And everyone's a little different, right? So your target date to become financially independent. And when will you accomplish your personal goals? Right?
And then my last slide. I hope that we have given you a lot of value. Just want to share this little quote with you, and this is what our team is. Our symbol is: we, as a team, is greater than me, myself, and I. So thanks, and I hope you have a great evening. So we want to welcome up the best RVPs that we see coming up. We see them at the office, and they're so very grateful. They're not, basically in our team, but they're great RVPs to have and be beside. Let's welcome Alex and Mercy Ramirez.
Good evening, everybody. All right, we are really honored to be up here and to talk to all of you about partnership. I think Mercy and I, not to brag about it, but I think her and I are the solid, most strongest couple in primary. That's what I've always believed, and we're one and the same. We have each other's back 100%, and that was the reason why I knew we would make it here. So I think one of the things you have to decide coming into this business, if you're coming in with your partner, and you already have a future for yourself, and you say to yourself, I see myself with my partner, I see myself raising a family, and this is what you're coming in here married. You got to decide. Number one, you got to believe in yourself, that you know that whatever you put your mind to, you can get good at. I think all of you can, say whatever I put my mind to, I can get good at. And the second thing is, how bad do you want to be successful? How bad do you want to be financially independent? How bad do you want to live a life that's ridiculous? And what kind of life do you want to give your kids, and what kind of life do you want to live, right? So if you ever have those desires, and you have that heart of a champion that says, being an employee, working for someone else isn't my ticket in life. There's got to be more to it than doing what I've been doing for the last 10, 15, 13, 14 years like I was. And then you look over to your partner and you say, you know what, I believe in you, partner, and they believe in you, then you have it all. You have all that you need to go get wealthy. And when Primerica stepped into our life, we saw an opportunity that her and I can do together. And we were so excited about the fact that we can have freedom. And I got to tell you, Mercy and I, from day one, we decided we were going to do whatever it takes to get it done. Whatever it takes. If it means I got to do this, or she's got to do that, or I got to do both of these things, and she's got to do all of those things, whatever it takes to get it done, because our future depends on it. And we want it all, right, babe? We want a great business life. We want a great spiritual life. We want a great family life. We want it all, right? And so Primerica says you can have it all. And that, to me, was the selling point to Primerica. But the main selling point, I think, was the commitment my wife had from day one to say, together we can do this. And I said, that's right, we can do this. And we haven't stopped, and we never will. And you can count on, one thing you can tell each and every one of you, you can count on us. We're here, we're the rock, and we're solid, and we're never gonna quit on you. All right? So, with that said, I'm gonna hand it over to my wife. I know she's got a bunch of stuff to cover, and I know I don't want to run out of time here with her, but I love you. You're the best partner anybody can have. We're gonna do something great. I love you.
All right, guys. I hope you're excited to be here tonight. I hope that whether you're female, male, I hope that you embrace what I'm going to talk about tonight, and I hope that you're open, right? You're open to being flexible, and that your roles are always going to change. My role, especially if you're a mom, please pay attention, because somebody said something. I have a new recruit that I went on an appointment the other day with, and he goes, I had to cover an appointment, so I had to be flexible to that, right? So he tells me, well, it's easy for you guys because your kids are grown. And I'm thinking, wait, how old do we look, right? You know? And wait a second, I have a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old. And then he said, really? I would never know. I would never know, right? And I said, do we look older? And he said, no, you're always there, right? So a couple of things that I'm going to share with you is that before you can identify your partner roles, you've got to be on the same page. I'm going to eliminate, if you pay close attention, I'll probably eliminate years of victory, right? If you can just come together, right, and recognize that if you're both moving in the same direction, right, you can conquer the world. The reason why I believe Alex and I are so solid right now, we're solid in our faith spiritually, our walk with the Lord is so strong. We agree on the big things, and we disagree on the little things. It doesn't really matter. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So, okay, let's go into my slide. I believe that, right? All right. You have to have a clear vision. Look, if you and your partner are going to get on board on this and you're going to do something great, then you have to be on the same page. If you're not on the same page, it's going to be very difficult for you, whatever role you decide you're going to fill, right? It's going to be very hard for you to make it work. So for us, the way I feel, if you don't have a clear purpose, you have no foundation on which you base your decisions, allocate your time and use your resources. Instead, you will make choices based on circumstances, pressures, and the mood you're in for the moment. That's why I'm not going to go to the meeting because I don't feel like it, right? I can't go to that appointment. I don't have the time, right? I don't want to miss out on my kids' events. Well, the fact of the matter is, if you're going to do something great, your life's going to be out of balance for a little bit. But I promise you, it'll be worth it, right? So if you don't know what you want, you're never going to accomplish that. Listen, my 3-year-old, if you ask him what he wants to be a Power Ranger Antonio the Red One, right? How is it possible that a grown adult doesn't know what they want to do with their life? Right? If you ask my daughter, and you know what? In his world, that's his reality, right? And that's it. It's very real to him. We can laugh and we think it's cute, right? But his little 3-year-old world, that's his reality. So how can you do something? How could you lead your children to greatness if you're uncertain about what you want to do? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right? So knowing your purpose and the vision you have for you and your family focuses and motivates your life and produces a passion for it. You will live aimlessly through life if you don't know what you want out of it. Does it make sense? Right? On the other hand, with no vision, your passion dissipates. Without a vision, the people perish, but he who keepeth the law, happy is he. That's Proverbs 29:18. Right? So next slide. Okay, so before you identify roles, 2 steps, right? You need to know your vision, then you have to be in constant communication with each other. And what I mean by that is not arguing. What I mean by that is not telling each other what to do. It took us, let me tell you, by the grace of God, right? And I don't know, Alex and I cannot function without God in our life. We're lost. We're lost, right? And I think because of that, we feel so solid right now. We're on the same page. I think that this is really the time that's the happiest we've ever been. You know, our base shop isn't, if our base shop tanked, right, and we would be at each other's throats, right? And a lot of you are, right? But because of that, it's not where we are, it's where we're going, the great plans that God has for our life, right? So communication is like a life-giving river. Everything flows smoothly. When communication stops, it's like a huge dam, and it stops the constant flow of water. This causes everything around it to suffer and slowly die. Right? So you're not communicating, you're holding in all this resentment, and then your partner asks you, how are you? Everything's fine. But it's not fine, right? So they'll say it's fine. If it's not fine, say how you feel and fix it. Fix it right there because you'll carry it with you, and it's always there. And I don't know how you can be healthy like that. I don't know how your home can be healthy that way. You just can't. If there's something wrong, say it. Let's work through it, and let's move forward. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So keys to communicate more effectively. Don't assume your partner knows how you feel. There are times when I go, Alex, you didn't know? He goes, I had no clue. I'm like, wow, I'm beside myself, right? He'll tell me, you didn't know that bothered me? I had no idea. No idea. So, listen, you have to communicate that. You need to listen more and stop telling. Be a great listener. I think we all have that problem, right? We tend to tell, right? We go on an appointment and we ask questions and we do that. But when it comes to our personal relationships, we do a little bit of listening, right? Be careful with your body language. So as you're trying to identify what role you're going to take and things are what you want to do, but that's your strength, listen, don't roll your eyes. Don't do don't do any of that, right? Because your body language is volumes of how you're thinking, right? So be careful with the words you use. Listen, I can't even stress that enough. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything else.
Right. Amen.
Period. About anybody. Because
Right.
it will haunt you. You will live with it. If you're a good person, it's going to haunt you. And you'll regret those things, right? And you don't want to live your life with regret. Never insult because you will not be able to take it back. Have a date night. Have fun. But one thing about Alex and I, we really have fun. We'll go out and have a drink, and I feel like I'm with my best friend, right? So remember, it's more important to be happy than it is to be right. You got that? That's very important, right? So reckless words pierce like a sword, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. That's in Proverbs. Just read Proverbs and you'll live a happy life. Right? All right. So this is the difference between. I think one thing that Alex and I are on board 100% is that we'll do whatever it takes. So today I had to cover an appointment. I went with Rosalia to an appointment, right? Early in the morning. Kiana had a full day today at sports, right? And I said, Alex, after she's done, I know your appointment is scheduled for tomorrow. Can you do me a big favor? Can you take her to go get her hair done? He's like, what? I go, yeah, because she's a swimmer, right? So her hair is getting really dry. Can you do that? Sure, got it. Right? So most of you men, you want your wife to be flexible. You have to be flexible too. We're supposed to wait, right? Whatever it takes. So be willing, whatever it takes, so long as it's moving your family ahead. Have a clear understanding of what you are responsible for getting done, and then do more than is expected. Like, always do more. Look, one of the things I always tell my kids, I go, separate yourself. Separate yourself from everybody in that class. Separate yourself. My daughter started softball yesterday, right? We're at practice. I go, babe, I know you're the underdog. You're the one going in with no experience. All the other girls have 2 years on you. But go in there and give it your best. Separate yourself. Right? Do your best work always, because you never know who's going to see it, right? Same thing here, by the way. So have an office calendar. Look, as a mom, you have to be very flexible. Look, you have to have a calendar. You have to know what time you're picking up your kids, who's picking them up. You have to be willing. Look, the other day on Thursday, I was at a science fair with my daughter, right? And I took my son, and we're there with all the moms. And I thought I was cleared for the night. I thought I had no appointments. I'm ready to hang out with my kids. Alex calls me and says, hey, babe, I wouldn't ask you. I know you're with the kids. I need your help. Everybody's booked tonight. I need you to cover an appointment you need. And I go, well, all right, great. What time? 30 minutes. I go, 30 minutes. All right. I didn't give him fuss. Like, I can't believe you intended, because he was on appointments that day. There's no way, right? So I don't want to be the reason why we don't do this. I don't want to be the reason that we don't have success that night, right? So I said, listen, all right, tell him if he can bump it 30 minutes, I'll book it home, drop off the kids, and I'm off because I always carry extra files in the car, right? So I go drop off the kids, I tell them, guys, quick, get off the car, go get grandma, I gotta go, right? Make sure they're in, drive to my appointment, I write a $90 app, I'm good, I did my part for tonight. I was the reason why our family's gonna win. Don't be the anchor. By the way, if you are that person to your partner, whether it's male or female, shame on you, right? I'll tell you why, it's simple. It's simple to be that way. You are destroying your marriage. You are destroying, like, the beauty. I mean, you're destroying, like, that person's dream. You were born to do something great with your life, right? So identify your strengths and focus on that. Don't worry about what you're weak on. You're going to get great as you go. Focus on what you're both great at, and then we'll do that. Okay? Get your kids involved. Look, our kids know. Our kids know right now. We got off the 5, dropped off our kids. They know exactly where we're at, right? So this is something Karma sent me that I thought it was good. So basically, it says partner A, partner B. Kind of go through this, kind of identify who's the strongest where, and then focus on tapping into that, right? By the way, in recruiting, when you go through that, I think you both need to be recruiters. I don't think it's boy or girl or husband or wife. I think you both need to be great at meeting people, getting them plugged in. It just can't be one. You just can't be behind the desk, right? You, the wife, you have children. There's mothers you can talk to. There's so many people. It's an endless people at church. I mean, we've met so many great people right now. So you can't just say that's his thing. Sometimes you are going to have to do a little more. There's different stages in your life that you go through, and you're going to have to be really flexible to that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, honey. That's like, I got to finish. One more. Listen, I have to show this to you. I have to show it to you because I think it's the most amazing thing. My daughter, she was listening to the Christian channel and said, let's pray for families, let's pray for families that are divorced. So she comes to me and says, Mom, what is divorce? And I said, I don't know, that's it. So then, she don't know, you said you know everything. So I tell her I know everything, I know what you're doing, right? And she goes, you don't know? I go, Mom, so I explained to her what divorce is, right? She's always journaling, right? So she brings out a piece of paper. So this is Alex. I take this as Alex. This is me. She draws a heart, right? This is Frank. This is Dermot. Draws a heart and starts writing love, love, love. Love all over it, right? She goes, man, I'm going to pray right now. You guys have to remember to stay in love, right? And it was so powerful. It made me realize that you have no idea that your kids are watching you. You have no idea how important you are to them. You have no idea what your marriage means to them, right? Next slide, I'll end with this. See, that's them. There's a reason why you have to go in, right? If not you, then who? Thank you for your time, guys.
Let me tell you, everybody knows my story. For 19 years, I've done the business as a single parent. I've always wanted to be part of a partnership meeting, so this is very special to me. Isn't it?
The company, I remember through history, the company was doing well with all male leaders, you know. And Angela Williams thought of doing partnership and putting a little bit of emphasis on the supporting spouses, you know, the women. And that's when the company took off. So you have no idea, just like you have no idea how big and powerful partnership is in this business. This is our strength, right? So with that, we'd like to bring up some people who have shown good examples. I mean, role models as far as doing the business as partners. And so we'd like to bring up some couples here. We'd like to bring up from the Rodriguez Bay Shop, the amazing couple, Jerry and Leanna. amazing couple, Neil and Janice Habanero. And a couple from the Alonso Bay Shop, the amazing Jake and Lorena Santos. Incredible couple, Alfred and Christine Delano. I mean, these couples are paving the way for you guys. You know, I read sometime today in a devotional how we sometimes fail to feel gratitude for those people. Maybe they have not impacted us directly, but the things they're doing, you know, they are doing something great, so that it makes it a lot easier for us to do the business, you know. When we need the support of our spouses, we can point to these people how they're doing it because they have shown an example. So we'd like to ask you questions from these incredible couples, and I would like to start with Jerry and Liana Sepulveda. You know, when we see you, oh, by the way, guys, these are all RVP Academy people. It's just that the RVP Academy people, they just do so well. You know, I don't know why, right? So these are Jerry and Liana. I would like to ask you, how important is it to show up to all events together?
Honestly, I mean you're the example of your team. So we make it a big deal that if one of us is missing, it's a big deal. You know, I know some people, we do have sometimes like where one of the partnerships shows up, one person shows up, it counts as both. The thing is, though, if both you guys show up, your team sees that. And so with our meeting attendance, like right now, I believe we have about 9 partnerships from our base in here in the meeting right now because. They see us come to everything, they start following their leaders and they start coming to everything. And so now we're seeing more couples in our base starting to come because we come. Like, it's so important because Frank always talks about meeting attendance, and so we've been just embracing everything from the RVP Academy. So that's when our meeting attendance has been blowing up because we start having the partners come with their partner. All of a sudden, their IPAs start getting turned in because they see the bigness of the company. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, us both showing up explodes your business because you're going to have partners in your business that's going to want to do what you're doing if you're leading the way.
Well, in the beginning, I wasn't the most supportive partner, and it was very much like, but it took other people, the partnership of your base shop, people calling and asking. I remember there was a time when Rhonda actually texted me, and she just was like, I want you to know that Jerry's different when you're there. And she just like mentors, and others would like text me and just let you know, like, hey, like, what's up? What are you doing? Like, where are you at? Like, he's so different when you're there. And I'm like, well, what's so different about him? So then it made you want to be there and be a part of it. And then just that just made us realize like how much stronger we are together. And others gravitate towards them because we are getting older. I mean, we're still young, but still, and we're different stages of your life, and you want to, it's like a give and a take, and like we realize when you're around other couples, like you just want to feed off of it. You want to surround yourself with other couples that are doing so that you can take and give whatever you can to them so that you can inspire others as well.
It is really the power of attraction. You know, how can you expect to attract couples in this business if you as a couple don't work together and show that example? You cannot. It simply cannot be done that way, right? So that is a pretty good example. You know, you show up to all events. You're always together. You are one as a unit in this business.
And the great thing is our company is built on partnership. And I remember even as a single mom doing the business, and I would always say that the status, I think, of my experiences building it by myself is the fact that not when things are down, But the fact is, I got a huge trophy. I don't know if you got a huge trophy, you're high-fiving everybody, and then you drive home, you're all by yourself, and then you come home and there's really nobody to share it with. Right? And think of it. But I can accept that because I was a single person. But think of your partner. See, there's, they always say that this business can never be taught. It's something that you catch. Right? So if you don't catch it, you're happy, you're high-fiving, and you come home, you will never be able to transfer that emotion and that excitement to your partner because they were not there. Unlike if it was the two of you, especially not just the successes, even the crying times of the business, where you could, and that brings you as a couple closer together. Don't you agree? Right? It's just amazing because you can keep going and going. At the car, you're celebrating. You come home, you're in bed, you're still celebrating. You can keep going. Otherwise, you're going to come home and talk about it and then just go to bed. But here, on and on and on. A little music in that. You guys excited?
And I love partnership. Joe, in the end, let me ask you a question. This question. What does partnership mean?
Partnership to me is one mind, one effort, one focus, one drive, one family, one body. That's really what it means, at least to me. I believe she agreed to let her speak. When you're one, there's nothing more powerful than having a couple. I mean, a couple clinch the earth. Right? Say if we can do that, we should be able to slow down business ourselves. So I believe that having that focus will actually draw the right couples to you because they're going to want the same. They're going to be on the same purpose. They're going to want the same focus. So just becoming one in everything you do. The roles may be different. The thumb is a little bit different than the little finger and the legs and the arm, but it's still all one body. It has the function as a unit. So that's what one is.
I totally agree with what Joe said. Is when coming into this business and your partners, you may have some partners who don't go into it all gung-ho. You might have one, but eventually, I think over time, that other partner will slowly but surely fall into sync. And then once you see that and you agree on the vision of what it is you're trying to accomplish, then it's the sky's the limit. So, when you have family, sometimes that's tough, but, you push through it and your family will be thankful in the long run, So it has to be two people as one in one thing. Yeah.
And also the kids, too.
Yeah.
Our kids are starting to take on our personality a little bit, The twin girls, they're all athletes and they're leaders on their team. So they carry that with us. So if they see us doing things together and accomplishing, and again, that oneness, their roles shift. I'm not cleaning up their room, I'm doing your laundry. Well, as part of that team, we have a meeting that we go to. So bring that whole family unit. I think that's very important. So, if the head is right, the rest of the body will be fine.
I like what you said. It's always a process. Did you guys, when you got into the business, Joe, did both of you get in at the same time, or was it you first and then she?
She did it mine.
It was me first.
Okay.
And he's selling the dream to her to get licensed. Just get licensed. Don't worry about the rest of it. Just get licensed. That's all. And so she did that. And for me, I knew being in the military, there was a lot of separation because I deployed quite a bit. So she had to take on the role of both parents most of the time. So bringing that together at times was challenging, and it is a transition. But we figured it out. And so when we got started in Primerica, I had come off an deployment at that time, about a year earlier. We get your license. It don't mean a whole lot. She did it, and from there, it's just a matter of understanding the roles. I was a lead agent at the time, and you know, and so far she's still licensed. She's a district leader with me, and so it means something. So when we're across the state with someone, we always talk about both of them getting licensed. It's important for both of them to be involved because she releases me. You know, I'm the people. Okay, she got to let me out of the gate. So by her doing that, it shows me person for it and being behind what we do.
So we got a couple, Janice and Neil. I know you're doing a great job having people coded and licensed and all that, and sometimes it's challenging to have both couples, riding that wagon where they both get licensed and doing a fantastic job. So why is it important to get partners licensed?
Well, it's better to have both. I mean, if you only have a husband doing it and a wife, it's almost impossible to build a business if you don't have the wife on board. So, part of that is, I guess that's part of our responsibility. I recruited you, so that's part of our responsibility to get you and your wife to be in it. And I don't mind going to her house and selling the dream. I think the last time I did that was, I think Dennis is over here, and I went to her house, and basically I told, for you to be able to be successful here, we guys have to help you out, or she's gonna have to plug in with you. It's hard to go through the whole, reasoning why, but they'll figure out why. Because when you go to a bake shop, there's always husband and wife, and always husband and wives are winning. So not all the time, but the majority of the time it is.
Right. What is your process to get them both licensed? Do you have a process? You have a process to do that? What do you do?
Just do it.
Do you have to talk about this? Right, you're the one that's on top of it. What do you do? Give
what I do is I call them and just say, this is how you do it, and this is that, and if you have any questions, they follow up with them. Like for example, like the team leaders, I told them, how many are in school, because we only do the online, we don't go, the school. So we just do it online, and then I told them, okay, so this is the process, and then after your 32 hours, and then, because after the 32 hours, you gotta schedule them, because if you're just, if they're done with their hours, and, and then you just let them, book that test, they're not gonna do it. You just have to follow up with them to say, okay, I'm gonna schedule you, this is what I text them or call them, heads up, you're gonna be taking your test next week. So that's why they have to prepare, right? So I said, okay, are you sure? But yes, but I have to call Irma. I go, Irma, can you, So me and Irma were talking to each other about to schedule and stuff like that. But because when we go, we have a new recruit, I email them. If I tell them, okay, I'm going to email you something, or I maybe to go to the online, to the youcanpass.com, and then just follow the instructions how to do it. And then when you go to your POL, and then they'll say, okay, they're registered and stuff like that. But I'm following with the team leaders also, that they're doing their job.
We're not going to take credit for that, because I think we just teach, people that direct to us, and then look at the teammates we have, Dindo, Felisa, and Raquel, and Eddie, and Connie Fernandez, and then also they do a good job of just propagating the same process. So we can't take credit for everything that the whole team has done. So we just basically, Luis and Rachel, we taught them how to do that, and then we just do the same thing basically. And we're just there to kind of, we focus on growing teams all the time. So we can't possibly be there for everybody. We try to be there, for everybody. And you got to bring your wife on, you know, and you're out back. After that, you go, to a restaurant, you drink a little bit, then you ask your wife to back.
Alfred and Christine, these are hardworking couples, and they're always on the field. Once they leave the house, they're gone. I mean, they come back early in the morning, right? Christine, what is your role in setting appointments? I think that's one of your strongest skills. Yeah. So what is your?
Well, I started first here in the business, and when Shirley trained me, I was just set appointments, so I was doing that already. And then when I met Alfred and he joined on to the business, that's all I did. So I wanted to set appointments. So that was my role. I was the one setting appointments all the time. But that was the time when I would tell Alfred, Alfred's not setting appointments, only me all the time. And then she got down to that. Then you know what? If that's his strength, do it. If his strength is close, do it. So we identified that. And so that's what we did. I found out that I'm doing setting appointments, and that's what I do now.
Now tell everybody, Christine, because I know you're so awesome about this, right? When you get up in the morning, I see you in the office, I see you just about in the car. See, what is your main goal every day when it comes to setting appointments? Because it's key.
Oh, okay. Well, I started with when you I started with one every day for the future. I set an appointment, and then became two because we became better. And then now I set 3 appointments every day, and I don't stop until I meet that goal. So there are times when I get to 5 and I only have like 1 appointment, so I start with 2 more. So I stretch it a little bit, like 9:15, and sometimes I get surprised because I still get it. I still get those 2 appointments. So every day that's what I'm sort of thinking, apart from the many things that we must do, right? So I still give time. Even though I know that we have the team who also makes appointments, personally, we still need to make appointments.
So on a weekly basis, with this kind of mindset, this is my role, this is my quota, how many appointments do you average on a weekly basis?
Yeah, 15 to 20.
15 to 20. If you look at our Google Sheets, it's CEO Blue.
They're number one.
They're number one, 15 to 20 appointments. Because she has a mindset. It doesn't matter when the appointment will be. It could be the next day, a week from now, 2 weeks from now. She's got to get the 3 appointments booked every day. Right? That's awesome.
Tell us what your role is in that whole process.
My role is to listen to her.
We choreograph our appointments. Okay. She sets appointment. We go on appointments together. Well, my job is to build rapport. I'm better at that. Do the presentation, identify their needs. While I'm doing this, Christine is listening. If there's a need for the car insurance, while I'm talking, she's already. And sometimes, I'm sure you guys have tried calling for American Secure. You can't find your agent. It can take you 5, 10, 15 minutes to find someone. So she's taking care of that, so that as soon as they're ready, they get the paperwork, we can just segue into that if we have to. My job is to actually do the presentation, identify their needs, segue into the F&A, that's a big deal now, and actually get the IDA, get the life insurance, and get the mutual fund sale. I mean, our job, if we're pretty good, most appointments we get 2 or 3 transactions per appointment. So.
And then when it comes to, I know it's not just Christine listening, she knows the role when to get in and get the referrals,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
And average, how many referrals do you get?
We average, we don't do any cold prospecting. It's either going to be incidental, but the majority, 99% of it, is at the kitchen table. We average probably 10 to 15 referrals per appointment. And basically, Christine can explain how she does it. The moment they give 1 referral, it's, okay, next. What about this person? What about a church? What about the person you work with? What about your neighbor? What about, and she goes on and on and on. Before they know it, they've got 20 appointments set. Okay? Well, 20 names set. And then we try to set appointments right away. And once they got the 20 names set, that becomes a tool to help recruit them because they don't realize that they just got to market. Because how many times you try to, recruit someone and that one objection is, well, I don't know any people. Who do I know? You've got 20 people. I'll be more than happy to help them out, but we can help them out together and you can benefit from it. It just goes on from there.
That's awesome, right? Christine, she's like a little kid that wants candy. You know how our kids go, I want candy, 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 I want candy. That's Christine. She doesn't hear the objection. She'll just keep asking and asking and asking until she gets it. Is that how she does it, right?
That's what she married.
Jay, big comeback, another $10,000 guy. I mean, this couple right here is amazing for their consistency. And so, Jake's always up front, and we have Lorena is, just kind of quiet and all that, right? So I'd like to ask Lorena first.
And before anything else, I think there's a shift to Jake. I just got to do this.
Yeah. So what is your role, Lorena, in your business?
Everything.
Everything. I mean, be a little bit more.
As I've heard from Mercy, and you can, whatever it takes, I'll do everything. I'll do the pendings, I'll do the appointments, and I'm not going to the field, but I look for the appointments. I call my new recruits and register for their class, and send cards, thank you cards, and a lot more. There's never ending. I mean, like, if there's coming in, then I'll take it.
You also are in prospect, Joanna, because I know in the beginning, when you started, you guys didn't have a market, right?
Yeah. I tried, but Jake do the prospect more.
Because it's more effective.
Yeah, he's
As far as how you operate together as a couple?
She's just amazing. I mean, I'm the kind of guy, like, if you put me in the desert or a war zone, I'm always gonna wipe out everybody. Not for her, right? When you're always in the attack mode. And she always tells me, hey, Jake, you're so fast. You're like lightning. Right? I just can't take it like, what am I going to do? I have this. Would I just be sitting with that for a week or a month? No. I tell her, do this right away. And sometimes, it doesn't work, right? And then she goes in there to, clean the mess up. But anyway, see, as a partner, I mean, as a couple, we really don't have, relationally, we really don't have any, problems. If there was any, it was me, right? So when we got invited to a marriage couple, something like that, right? We said, what's our problem? We don't have a problem. So we came to Primerica, right? And then, again, there's no problem relationally. But see, Primerica is Primerica. It's different. I always tell people it's different. It's something different. It's always like, see a dictionary, we're not in the dictionary. You know what I'm saying? We're always good things. And then so we see Daniel and Karma, right? Primerica. They've been here for a long time. They know what they're doing. And so we just apply it. So anyway, for couples, right? It's so important. Like I'm calling out Christine, right? You see couples, and then you just gotta have to invest a lot of time with them. Just tell them, hey, just keep coming together. Can you imagine this is the best example of a partnership, right? Let's say you're rowing a boat, right? Going upstream, and then you're going this way, and your partner's going this way. So what's gonna happen to your, where you're going, right? You're gonna be, going around in circles. So anyway, I guess that's about it. I really would want my wife to really talk about this because when she talks about however she says it, however she delivers it, that was it, the partnership. But I guess this was it. But I hope I gave you value. It's really important that when you're partner, there's nothing else, right? And you gotta have to come. There's nothing else. Just work your schedule around Primerica, because remember, whatever you're giving to Primerica, it's gonna give back to you. You know what I'm saying? So good evening.
And really, just to close it, guys, you have to understand the power of partnership. Our company will continue to grow. Our company will continue to be number one because of two things: ownership and partnership, right? So we got to take the I, me, mine. It's really ours, because you're building it together, right? So thank you, guys. Thank you for super support.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Easy. Is everybody excited?
Yes. Oh, yes.
I feel so blessed to be here with everyone. And I'm a very emotional person, so I hope I don't cry when I won't talk. Our talk. But I'm so blessed to be here with such great people, and we're excited. We're really excited about where we're at, where we're going. So, I like my sister Mercy. If you guys don't know, she's my sister. I only have one slide for you tonight, but hopefully she was always the outspoken one in the family. So tonight we want to talk about two being stronger than one. Would you agree that obviously two people working together in the same direction is going to get you to your goal faster?
Yes.
And our whole focus in building our business, because really none of you really saw us going for our RVP run, doing the things that our uplines did, the great examples that they set for us. But we always focused on growing our business with partnership.
I just want to add to that. The growing the business partnership, one of the things I've always told our team, especially the new people coming in, is that a year from now, when I look at your business, if 80% of your team are married couples with young children, you will have a successful, solid business. And so, obviously, we recruit everyone, but it's got to be a focus that you're intentionally looking for married couples with young children, because those are the ones, and those are a higher percentage, are going to be successful and help you build that team. So we recruit everyone, but it's got to be a focus. So you need to look at your team right now and say, hey, what's my percentage? How many people on my team are married with kids? And if the number's not high, you need to really work hard on that. And I think you'll have so much more success in Primerica.
So early on, we realized that was a very strong thing that was going to build a solid business. So we always went out on appointments, and we had personal appointments together to try to bring the couples on board and recruit them both that night. That same night, they would both be getting started with us. They would be following our example. And it would be so exciting to see couples that were obviously very committed to each other, because I knew if they were committed to each other, they would be great at making a commitment to our business. So recruiting both of them at the KT was always the focus. Both of them at the same time, both of them getting started, both of them equally involved, attending all the meetings, all the events, both of them going out on appointments, both of them setting the appointments and going out so that they could both be equally excited about what we did for families and how we help families. And both of them getting licensed right away, which is what we both did. We both got licensed. So our goal was to develop both of them as field trainers. Because both of them out on appointments at the same time was just going to collapse time frames.
Yeah, and I really think, obviously, you have to have some flexibility. you're not going to meet every partner where they both can say, okay, yes, we'll both go on appointments, yes, we'll both get licensed, we'll both develop as skill trainers. But it's got to be your intention. It's got to be when you first start, you sit down with that couple, you need to see them both engaged and getting involved in every aspect. And then if one person says, well, I really want, if they're adamant about not wanting to do something, then you can adjust. But it's got to be a culture that you build that, listen, both of them do it. When Irma and I got involved in the district, both got licensed. We were both on appointments. We were both training people. And that's how we were able to get to RVP so quickly. So I think it's got to be an intention that both of them get involved in every aspect, and then you can adjust based on what that particular person does or doesn't want to do. I think that's so critical.
So we could talk about what we've done. So maybe we, won't be so open to hear their excuses why they can't show up to the meetings, or why they don't have a babysitter, why they can't be away from the kids. Because we've done it. So, I had to do that too, but it was so worth it. I had to drive all the way backtrack to drop off the baby an hour back, and then drive back and pick him up, and no excuses. So you won't be inclined to take it seriously for people, because obviously I did it first. And then once you get those people involved, and building strong relationships with them is just so key. Getting to know them, having them over to your house, getting to know their kids, getting to know their extended family, really building a strong relationship with them, and then they're going to get to know you and trust you, and they're going to want to be around you more often. Want to be around you and around the business, and they'll be open to listen to you and the advice that you have for them in building their business.
And really, just going back to the last one though, don't also be too quick to judge who the lead agent is. You're going to be shocked if you get them both moving, that sometimes the wives, a lot of times the wives, are the more aggressive, the more focused, the more they want to get after it and get this thing done. So sometimes we just as men even, we focus, okay, it's got to be the guy. Don't do it. Get them both involved equally, and they will and their behavior will tell you who's the person you're going to focus on. And a lot of times it's not the husband, it's the wife. So be careful with that. And the next one is building a relationship with the whole family. Is getting to know their kids, and also getting to know exactly the next one that we're going to talk about their wife. So that's so important. Getting to know their kids, and when your kids become their kids' friends, they're kind of locked in because the kids want to come over and hang out with the friends, right? So build those family relationships. Get everybody involved.
And find out what each of them really wants. Right? What's their why? And that will help you help them, so that you can coach them and talk to them and really help them see that you're the person that's going to help them, attain all the things that they want in their life, and that you really believe that they can accomplish that here. And so that is really important, because you can keep talking to them about what they really want, and when they have a disappointment, a discouragement, then you can keep reminding them about why they're doing it.
Yeah, because in general, when you sit down with the couple for the first time, in general, the guy wants to get wealthy and buy the Ferrari. Okay? And the wife wants financial security. And again, it changes, but it just in general, that's the case. So you can't be talking to the wife about how he's going to quit his job next week. Okay? And you can't be talking, and so it's two conversations, right? You're talking to the guy about, hey man, you're going to quit your job, man, you're going full time, you're going to get wealthy and go get that Ferrari. And then on the next conversation, separate, the best thing about it is he gets to start part-time. There's no... So you need to make sure you understand how to talk to both partners, because they're different. Have we figured that one out, huh guys? They're different? We want different things.
And lastly is setting a great example for your partnerships to follow. I think that is so key for me, that we've obviously always had great examples with Daniel and Karma, and even with Nafisa and Armando that recruited us into the business. And what really recruited me early on, I mean, aside from like all the great things that we do and everything, was just how excited they were. How excited they were about the opportunity, about what they were doing. And I just felt like, my gosh, we got to do this. I don't really understand all of it, but they're doing it, so we can't be left behind. So the excitement, I think, is really the one thing that, you know, it really stands out, you know, and then, so we always wanted to be great examples because I never wanted to be asking people to do something that I hadn't done myself. I just couldn't do that. So I made every meeting, I still do. I'm at every meeting, I have no excuses, I have to be there, and I expect my people to be there too. Just no excuses for anything. I'll do whatever I have to do, go on appointments, whatever has to be done, has to be done.
Awesome. And one of the things that, you know, I had a conversation with my son this week, Frankie, who's just turned 15. And, you know, he was, you know, we were just having lunch, it was just him and I, and he said, hey, Dad, was there anything else you'd want to do besides Primerica? Right, looking back, I mean, is there something else that you'd rather be doing? And it was a great question. And I actually seriously thought about it. Trying to think of something I'd rather be doing than Primerica. I said, honestly, Frankie, I can't think of one thing that's better than doing than Primerica. Obviously, I know when we were younger, playing for the Lakers would have been a little better. But based on where we're at right now, I said, you know what, Frankie, there is nothing better. There's nothing that I'd rather be doing. Right? Obviously, I'd rather be a senior national sales director than a senior vice president. But there's, you know, I believe this with everything in me that here's where you know you want in your life, when you love what you do and what you do makes a difference, and that's what you get to do in Primerica. And I'll let Irma close with something, but you know, but the one thing about this is hopefully some incentives and some motivations for the guys. Okay, and all the some of the RVPs and future RVPs. Love life is better at senior vice president. Vice president, guys. I don't know what would. And it's even better at NSD. Daniel said it's better at you know, the higher level you get to.
So really that's all I have for you guys tonight, what we have for you. We just really wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things that we've done, and don't underestimate our partnership, because I know 100% for a fact that if I hadn't been on board 100% from the start, that we would be here today. And it's so amazing, and it's so worth it.
Yeah, I'll definitely confirm that. Scary where I'd be today without her. She's just an amazing mom, just an unbelievable partner. And I know you hear it often, but the truth is she is the best partner in all of America. I love her more today than I ever have. And we're just so excited about our future. We're excited about helping you guys accomplish things you want in your future. So we're just so proud to be here with you.
We're so blessed to have the people that we have in our lives today, and we just there's more couples like that out there. We just have to find them and help them grow and do it here with us. So thank you guys. And
Okay, that was an awesome video. Awesome. They brought us up here, I think, to encourage some of the single people that might have got a little depressed right now that they don't have to It's against other forms of partnership, okay? And predominantly it is going to be husbands and wives with children, and that's what we want our business to look like. But there's all types of partnerships. Father-son, father-daughter, mother-daughter, right? For those of you that don't know us, my name is Tanya Searcy. This is Rhonda Rodriguez. And tonight we're going to talk to you about office etiquette and do's and don'ts. And tonight's been amazing. I mean, you know the kind of money people have to pay for this kind of marriage counseling? This is awesome. This is better than any kind of therapy you get anywhere
wear on an appointment or on at the office. It's so important to dress appropriately, especially us girls. Always be conscious of how we look. There's ladies' husbands coming to the place, right? And vice versa. We have to always look appropriate and professional. One question that actually, my mom came up with is, do I look like I represent a New York Stock Exchange company? Do I look like I would be someone that would want to invest their money or roll over their life savings with? You guys get where I'm going with that? And it's important to invest in yourself. You don't have to spend tons of money on your attire, but you do got to spend some money on yourself. It's an investment into your business, right? You could get a couple pairs of slacks and just get some shirts to mix and match with them. And nobody really cares if you're wearing the same thing at the office, because the new people coming through don't know if you wore the same thing last week, right? We're all good, right? We know we're all working together to build a business. We're not going to say nothing to you. And most importantly, with dressing good is when you feel good, you do good, right? How many of us, right, have you ever been out of the house and you're kind of bumming it, and then you run into someone and you're just like, I can't believe I'm running into this person. I've never bumped into people with, you know what I mean? And so you feel good, you stand a little taller, you talk with a little bit more confidence. Dressing sharp makes a huge difference in your business. Office etiquette, when you come to the office, and this is for partners and everybody, is you have to, no complaining. People know the complainers in the office, right? It's like, hey, how you doing? You're like, oh, this was my day. And I barely, and you just want everybody to know the sacrifices you made to drag yourself into the meeting. Nobody, we all have problems and we're all sympathetic, but we can't do that. People come here, that's for outside, that's for average and ordinary, that's for the rest of middle America out there that doesn't want to win in their life. You get where I'm going with that? So it's so important that you come in with a great attitude, because people need to be attracted to our environment. And when you bring your partner, it's important that you both, you don't get too high and you don't get too low. People like emotional stability in their leaders. They don't want to come in and know, am I getting Mr. Hyde tonight or Mr. Jekyll, right? And so don't get too high and then too low to where we have to call, put you on a 5150 alert or something like that. You got to have a stable attitude. And partnership really helps with that, because me and my mom are really close. I can tell when she's down and out, right? And we all get down. We're humans. We're not going to always be positive, but we do have to act positive when we don't feel like it. And I can sense when she's down, so I'll encourage her and pump her up, and vice versa. That's the great thing about being in a partnership. When you're in the office, pay attention. At least look like you're interested in what the speakers are talking about, because people are watching you. Even if you go, oh, well, I don't have any teammates here, I don't have to, be on my game. Everybody's watching you. People look up to you. I'm telling you, when I was growing up into the business, I didn't think I had as much influence as I did. And people were watching me that weren't even on my team that later told me how much they looked up to me, and I had no idea. You know what I mean? And so it's really important to pay attention and take notes. Okay, I'm going to tell you one thing you know-it-alls don't already know, is that you don't know it all, okay? So take notes, and sometimes I'm sitting in a meeting, I've heard certain things a million different times, but sometimes it's the way that speaker's communicating it, that I could take that and tell that to somebody else through an interview or at an op night, you know what I mean? And then so always take notes. People need to see you taking notes. It's so important. And the next thing is talk about winning and positive things. You always want to be talking about things that are uplifting and winning and not negative, because people are listening to your conversations at the office. Trust me, everybody's listening, okay? And when you're in the meeting, no texting, okay? No posting on Facebook. I can go on Facebook and you guys post stuff, and I'm like, we were in the meeting 37 minutes ago. I know you were on Facebook posting this, right? Oh, come on, guys. Facebook gets us in trouble. But no texting. It's disrespectful to the speakers, and the speakers do their best to come up here and pour their heart to you. And we always put pressure on ourselves that these people are coming and they're taking their time away from their families and help us to do good, and then we see one of you texting, and we don't know what the heck you guys are texting about, right? Some of you are having conversations with that person across the room. through text. It's not good. It doesn't make you look good. Okay, so can we agree to not text message during the meeting?
Yes.
Very important. And then it takes the speaker off their game. It distracts them. I've heard 4 or 5 cell phones go off in the meeting. I'm kind of like, okay, by the 4th or 5th one, you think the one that you heard on the last one would have reminded you to turn off your cell phone, right? Make it a habit that every single time you enter a meeting room before that meeting starts, let me double check and make sure my cell phone's turned off, because not only is it distracting to the speaker, but it's distracting to the eager new person that's trying to take notes, and your cell phone's going off, right? And then, okay, and don't miss meetings, partners. Your partners need you, whatever your partnership is, whether you're all in and you both go in the KT or whatever. It's so important that you guys show up together. And at the end of the day, we all really, we make or break our environment as a team. And you guys have to think a little deeper than just husband and wife partnerships. We're in a partnership together. I'm in a partnership with you. You're with me, right? We're in a partnership with this hierarchy, with our teams. And we can make or break our environments. And people need to be able to come here, and when they get off work or they are leaving their families, they really can't wait to get here because they feel so much better because they've been around this positive environment and are influenced. And that in itself is a huge, huge deal. So I'm going to give it up to my amazing partner, Rhonda Rodriguez, and she's going to talk to you about plugging into the big, big events coming up. Woo!
Does it work if I hold it just like that? All right, this is awesome. I want to just do a one shout out that when I was watching the video, and I can't find him. I've been trying to kind of glance at the audience and not be obvious. Where's Habanero, Janice and her husband Neil? I don't see. I see one of them. You guys, I want to personally. Tanya and I talk about you guys all the time, and we're so excited to be in partnership with you guys in this whole hierarchy. And I want to just say to them, congratulations. They're the #1 future in the whole world of primary. And so they won a gold medal for us here at the Super Alonzo Hierarchy. Does that make sense to you?
Right.
So I can't say enough about you guys. You guys are awesome. And I want everybody to let you know how awesome you are. Also, if you're here tonight and you don't have a partner and you're single and you're thinking, man, what should I come? I'm in awe. You guys and gals, you're awesome to be here tonight because you have a lot of partners, and there's probably a room of a couple hundred people here, so you at least have a couple hundred partners, so I congratulate you also. And I want to give you one quick tip on what works for Tanya and I, is we're readers, and we read, my family, Robert and Tanya and myself, will have Starbucks dates. For about an hour at a time, hour and a half, we'll go to Starbucks, we'll get our coffee, and we all have the same book, and I'm telling you, when we're reading the same book together, it works because we get to share ideas together, be inspired together. Does that make sense? Yes. That's a huge tip. I hope somebody here will take that and use that. I wanted to close out with talking about the convention. I'm going to say this boldly, and I don't have any trouble being bold. There are some things I'm so passionate about, so determined about, and the convention. I can honestly tell you, my first convention in Dallas-Fort Worth is the reason Rhonda Rodriguez is still here today. Why my business partner Tanya and Robert and our whole Freedom Force is in business, because it starts with the vision. And it was planted in my heart that this is where I belong. And so I think conventions, if it's your first or your 10th, I think each one is so important. And I think you need to make the decision to go to the convention. And some of you already have, and that's amazing. But I also believe some of you, it's on my heart, and it's been on my heart coming into tonight, there's some of you that are going to the convention and potentially without your partner. And I want to encourage you to change your heart on that, because you need to go into the convention with your partner. And I know it's a financial, to double the money, isn't it? Right? Two's better than one, right? But you need to consider, that's going out there and helping another family. That's the difference between you and your partner. Going together and not going together. You with me? So go help a family or two and get there with your partner. And then to top it off, we have Daniel and Carmel Alonzo, who are the chairman of the board of the partnership. We're going to be hosting the partnership workshop. And here's another idea. This is how Freedom Force was rolling into that convention. Our entire team is signing up for the workshop. It's a tradition. We all do the partnership workshop together, whether we have a partner or not. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to do that. We have more partners than anybody else. We as a team. Is that exciting?
Yeah.
We have more partners there than anybody else. And then I'm going to close off with this. Sometimes we get down, don't we? And I said I'm not going to get emotional, and I'm not. But if I do, I'm sorry. But sometimes I can be a jerk. You all understand that? Sometimes you could probably be a jerk to your partner, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
I stand alone here. No. And sometimes the most powerful words in the universe is I'm sorry, I was wrong, and can you forgive me? Sometimes we have to really dig deep because our pride gets in the way. And I'll tell you, my partner Tanya here has been putting up with a lot of BS for me. Right? Life challenges and things go on, But it's awesome to be in a partnership because when one is down, one can recognize. And I have to say, I've been a little bit of a jerk lately. And I am sorry. Will you forgive me? I needed to do that publicly because I think there's an important lesson to be learned.
Wow.
Okay? God bless you. We love you.
I'm so excited that you guys all came here tonight. I think that partnership is probably the most powerful thing that Primerica does, right? That's how we've grown. I know for Chuck and I, right, our business grew because we decided to grow this business together. And, Chuck's awesome. And he could have done this probably all by himself. But I think that, I was a big key in it. And I think that had I not been totally involved with him and I had not made a decision to grow the business with him, I don't know where we would have ended up. I don't know where I would have ended up. I don't know that, we would have grown together, maybe we would have grown apart. And so I think that if you're here tonight, maybe you're on the fence and you're like, well, I'll go, but I'm not going to do this thing with you. I think you really should go home and have a heart-to-heart and reconsider that because if you're not growing in this business together, you're going to grow apart. And I recognized that really early on, and thank God because it made us grow together. It made our not just our business, but our family life, our marriage, everything, the way we thought, the way we believed, and it was just so exciting. So if you're here tonight, right, and you're kind of on the fence, man, hopefully after tonight, right, we're going to push you over and you're going to be all in. So Carmen asked me just to talk a little bit about our story. So really quick, for those of you who don't know us, right, we both had jobs, right? We worked 40 hours a week at a job, and for myself, I kind of thought I had it going on. I thought I had a good job. I loved my job. I was treated well. But then comes Primerica, right? And they show us, right? I learned that what I earned wasn't enough, and that there was a whole other life out there that we could actually live, right? And so that you could actually live if you made a decision, right, to build a business. And so I just want to share with you guys, not our whole story, but just kind of our beginning of going RVP. This is us, right? So we talked about convention right now. This is our team that we went to convention, our very first RVP convention with in 2007. We had 11 teammates that went with us, right? So we were big, right? We had more teammates on our team, but we had only convinced, right, sold out 11 of them, and actually only 9, because 2 of them are Chuck and I. Right? Out of the 11, Chuck and I counted equal to 11. So so if you're not a big promoter, neither were we, right? We weren't big promoters. Obviously, because we had teammates that decided that, we didn't sell it enough and they weren't going to spend the money to go to Atlanta with us. So we went with 9 people. And we were so excited when we came back from this convention. I think it was a big eye-opener for myself, right, that we needed to get better. And we need to get better at promoting because everyone talks about, right, if you want to grow, you grow from big event to big event.
And when we went, right, and not all of our team went with us, and we couldn't bring back, right? Because when you go to a convention or you go to a big event, it's hard to bring back the excitement and everything that you feel, right? Especially from a convention, because it's actually a couple of days that you come back. And then you know, our team, even though we tried to tell them how awesome it was, they didn't feel it, right? They didn't know because they weren't there. And so that told me, right, that I needed to become a better promoter, so that at our next convention, at our next retreat, or whatever it was, that we'd have, you know, we'd double our size. And so when we did come back, though, this was super exciting. This helped us grow our business. We came back from convention in June, right, of 07. We went RVP in December of 06, so you guys know. So in December of 06, we went RVP. And we went to convention. And before we had left the convention, we signed a lease for our first office. And so when we came back, we opened up our first office. It was a small 1,800 square feet office. It only fit, our off-night room only fit 90 chairs. And I was like, holy cow, can we fill all these chairs, right? And so it was super exciting, and it was super scary at the same time. But because you have 90 chairs sitting there, right, and I don't know, we probably had like 20 people showing up, 25 people showing up. We had to grow. And so what we did was we went to work. We came back from our convention. We knew we needed to grow, right? We had this office and 90 seats to fill. And so Chuck and I just made a decision that we were going to go to work. And when I mean go to work, I mean work. Like, I don't mean to scare anyone, because I know sometimes some of you guys are on the fence, but I just want to be honest, right? Especially for those of you who are here and are saying, man, I want to grow and I want to be big, right? I want to go RVP this year. I want to make it to the convention and walk across the stage, right? When I say we went to work, I mean we worked. We went 7 days a week. We started at 8 in the morning, and sometimes we ended at, midnight, right? And sometimes we didn't see each other, and sometimes we didn't see our kids, and we didn't know, right? Chuck didn't know how the kids got picked up, or, how anything got done, right? He just knew that he had, to get out there at 8 o'clock in the morning and get prospecting, right? And I had to be okay with that. If you're a partner, right, and you want to get on this thing, you have to be okay with knowing that your agent, right, may be gone, right? Like Mercy's saying, like, they may be gone, and maybe you have something planned in the evening with the kids, or for me, right, baseball team, or you have some homework or something you got to get done that night, a school project with the kids, and you get called, and you get that call that says, hey, you need to meet with this new recruit. I can't, right? And you got to be ready for it, right? And that's what I mean. When we went to work, we really went to work. And so what happened for us, because we did that, can you help me? Okay, so my slides are kind of mixed up. But because we did that, I'm going to go backwards. Okay. No. Okay, so then what happened 2 years later, what I was going to say, it's in another slide, but because what happened because of that, right, in 10 months in October of 07, we got our $100,000 ring. And so that was really awesome, because we had set out, right, we thought, we need to make some money, we need to get to working in 10 months, right? Right, so success doesn't happen overnight. For some of you, you may be sitting here going, well, we've been here for a year. Well, Chuck and I took 5 years to go RVP. That's just what happened, right? That's just the way it went for us, right? We had jobs, we had kids, we had to figure this thing out, we had a debt to pay off, we had things that happened, right? And it took us 5 years. But it did happen. And after going RVP, 10 months later, right, we got our $100,000 ring, which you'll see a picture of that later. And then since we really got to work, right, Chuck was out there recruiting, right, we found ourselves a stud. We found somebody out there, right? Chuck went through a lot of people, and some of you guys know the story. We went through a lot of people, but we found the Team India. We found Team India. We found Roger Pena. And Roger Pena made a huge difference in our business, right? Because he was our rabbit. He became the rabbit for our base shop. And we grew, and we outgrew our 90 seats, right? We were wall to wall. If you're a district, right, you need to stand up and stand out in the lobby because there's no room for you. So we needed to grow again, and we got our second office in 2009, 4,000 square feet. It's 180 chairs, and right? And then again, right, super exciting, super scary, at least for me it was, right? I don't think Chuck was as scared as I was, but I was like, holy cow, how are we going to fill up these seats, right? And it happened just like that. Because again, right, we got scared, and we got excited, and we went to work. And what we did, right, we got back out there, and we started promoting to everybody. We got this new office, and oh my gosh, you're going to be an RVP, and you need to pack it out. You guys, regional leaders, you guys need to have 25 people here. Districts, how many people we got here. And we just started promoting it and getting all the team that we had, right, excited about doing something great in our base shop. And what happened is we packed it out, right? We started packing out our base shop, and then, I don't know how this on a slide, but, we broke records, right? We hit, 84,000, which I think was the Alonzo hierarchy record, right? We broke that. And then we broke 100,000, right? And then before you know, we just started growing, and great things started to happen, but it didn't happen overnight. When we went to convention in 2011, we took 42 couples, or 42 people with us, which was, 22 couples. And this year, right, we're going to take 150 people with us. That's what we're set out to do, right? We're constantly on, right, promoting, talking about everybody going, and everybody taking their partner. The thought that you would go to a convention, that you'd get on a plane and you'd fly to convention, and you'd be there with all that excitement, and you'd leave your partner home is incredible. Like, why would you even think of that? Like, don't even go if you're not going to take your partner, right? You can't bring it back home to them. You have to take your partner. I know when I went to the convention, that's where I made my decision that I could actually quit my job, that I would quit my job. I made a commitment that I would come back and I would get ready, I'd get prepared to quit my job because of a convention, right? So it's so huge that you guys make sure that you get there. And so here we are, right? We got our $100,000 ring in 2007. It was 10 months after going RVP. And then in 2010, we got our second diamond. And it wasn't really fast, right? It took us 3 years, right, to get our second diamond. But, sitting around 250, right? Sitting around 150, 170 is not a bad place to be, right? It's not like we were poor, right? Don't feel sorry for me. but it took some time, right, to get it over, right, and click, right, to get to 200,000. And then in March, right, of this last year, 2012, we got, this is really exciting, we got our third diamond, and that's when the company gave us full ownership of our business. And so that was a big moment. That was the moment where we both were like, this was it, It took us some time, right? It didn't happen for us overnight, and it wasn't easy. There was lots of craziness that happened in between all of that, right? But now we own our business, right? We get to make choices in our business, right? And we're not done, right? 300,000 is not the goal, right? It was not our goal, right? We're not done. We're nowhere done, right? We promoted out Eddie Rodriguez in June of 2012, and Roger and Maria just signed their promotion last Tuesday, so they're our VPs as of today on computer. And we have a lot of other people, like the Morenos are going to go RVP before convention, and maybe even Karina and Fernie, right? We have a lot of people in the pipeline right now that are starting to pop, and they're going to go. So we're nowhere close to being done at all. But it took us some time. And so I tell you guys that because I know there's some of you in here, right, that maybe you took your contract a year ago, or maybe you haven't taken your contract, and your contract's overdue. You need to get to work and go get that contract, right? But it does take time. So don't get discouraged where you're at, right? Because it only takes a decision. It only takes you a decision to say, you know what, this is it. Tonight could be your night. Tonight you can go home and just decide that this is it, man. We are going to get this done, whatever it is. Maybe it's to get to RVP by June. I hope that it is that for a lot of you, right? I don't know. And so this is just a cartoon, right? Most people think, right, that you start your road and you make your decision and success is just going to happen, right? Because you set your goal, like I'm going RVP in June, right? A lot of people set that goal, and that's, less than 6 months away, right? We're going to all be in convention, and then you're going to get there and it's not going to happen, and you're going to be upset over it. But success takes time. But you got to understand, during all of that, that is not the way success looks, and that more like the second one, where it was just like totally crazy, right? And every single turn. But I'll tell you, one rule that Chuck and I have always lived by, right? No matter what happens, right? At the end of the night, at the end of the day, right? Even if I messed up, which I mess up a lot of the times, right? He still loves me, right? At the end of the day, our business is our business. And if I messed it up, we'll start over at 8 o'clock in the morning, right? And I think that's so important because you can't go, you are in business together as a husband and wife, or maybe a mother and daughter, or whatever your partnership is, but know that you guys, at the end of the day, you still have to love each other, and you're going to get through whatever it is. And so just know that success is not easy, right? And it doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen if you keep pushing forward. So I promise you that. So I hope that gave you guys some hope, and I hope that gave you guys some good nuggets and information. Thank you. Whose first partnership meeting is this? Raise your hands. I know. Okay. So this is going to be good for you. I wanted to share with you guys tonight some pictures of us from before, so you can see what we look like and kind of our journey in Primerica and how it's happened for us. But I just want to say thank you for everybody who came out tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know this is always one of my favorite meetings to hear everybody's story and to hear from both partners, because a lot of times you don't hear from the agent, maybe the partner is shy, and you don't hear from them. So I like this. It gives us an opportunity to share with you. So I'm going to start with some pictures here. Yeah. Okay. This is me when I was little. This is my mom and my dad. They were teenagers when they had me and they got married. And my dad has a beer in his hand, if that tells you anything. And then I was cracking up because this picture over here, you know how your kids now, their costumes are really cool. And that is aluminum foil from my Wonder Woman wristband. I didn't come from money, I didn't have a lot of money. My parents were teenagers. And that's the only picture I have of my mom and dad, like from when I was little. So that's where I started. And I think Max looks like me. I think Ava looks like me.
Oh my God, it looks like Ava.
Next step. Okay. That picture at the top, when I first met Dano, this was Jeffrey's 5th birthday party. So you guys see Jeffrey today? That was his 5th birthday, the first time I went to their house, and we just happened to have a picture of it. So that was the very first time I went over there and met his family. This is us in high school. I think that picture up at the top, we had just gotten engaged, and then there's our wedding picture. So we were 16 when we met, and that's what we look like. When we got started in Primerica, this was my first car, the red one right here. It was a Volkswagen Golf. I bought it myself. I didn't have anybody to co-sign for me. I had to pay for that all myself. And that was what I was able to afford. And this was the good car. Between me and him, this was the good car. I had air conditioning in my car, and I had 4 doors in my car. We could put people in there. So that was the good car. We liked it. And it even had one of those CD players where before CD players were in your dashboard, it was like attached to the side and you could change it right there. That was my Christmas present last year. And we kind of both have good cars now, so that's pretty exciting. And these are our partners meeting. Our first partners meeting when we went RVP, we had a little condo, and it wasn't very big at all. So we had our meeting at Frank and Irma's house. They had a bigger house. I'm like, you're used to the meeting there, your house is bigger. We can put more people. And so a lot of you have been to our house. That's what it looked like before. And now it's, painted and it's a little different, but that's our house before. These are our partners meetings. So you always have them. A lot of people in there, I can't tell, I think the circle one over there in the red, that's Irma, and I think that might even be Mercy's house, because we've had meetings at their houses too. And then more potlucks and winners dinners and just things that we do with our team throughout the year. So it's always been consistent. We've always had lots of fun stuff with our teams and potlucks and dinners. And that's our house before, our backyard. A lot of you have been there where it had real grass, and we don't have that anymore. But we just always wanted to be with our team, and we wanted to celebrate the good times, and we wanted to build relationships. And the one in the corner is probably an Easter egg hunt with all the kids there. We have that every year.
and we hide dollar bills inside the Easter eggs. Some of them have candy, some of them have dollar bills, but we want to make sure the kids are included in there. They feel important, so we do some fun stuff with them. We took a trip. Primerica has a group called Women in Primerica, and we went a couple of years ago to Florida, and so that's us up there in Orlando at the women's event, having a good time there, building relationships, getting better, learning about the business. And here's us. That's our first trip that we ever won. We were district leaders, and we had got a plaque. We were the #1 district. So that was our very first trip. And I don't even remember that guy's name, but he used to be one of the top guys in Primerica. So he was handing out recognition. And that was our first trip. We went to San Francisco. So every time Primerica has a trip, you want to win that. Over there was, I believe, our first Hawaii trip to the Grand Wailea. And down here, we have our Inner Circle trip, and we took a trip to New York. So, RDPs, make sure you win that, because we want to go to some great places with you. And we like to travel. I always wanted to travel. I was little. I wanted to be a travel agent. I wanted to do all kinds of fun stuff. So, we traveled. We took a month in 2004, and we were all over the place. And we went to Hawaii with Primerica. That's the top, and that's my sister and my nephew, and that's Max when he was little. We all went to Hawaii together with Primerica. And then we came home, and then we had a wedding to go to in England. Daniel's cousin met a girl from England, and that's where they decided to have the wedding. So I thought that gave us a great excuse to go over there, because I wanted to go over there, but now we have a reason to go. And I took my sister, and Daniel took his sister. So not only did we go, but we were able to bless them and take them with us. And so that really is the Eiffel Tower. That's what it looks like. It's not Vegas. Over there in the middle, that's us sitting in St. Mark's Square in Venice, Italy. And we're sipping Bellinis right there, listening to the orchestra. And then over at the end, that's right in front of the palace in London. Wow. And when we were in Italy, I always wanted to go to Italy. That was like my dream. I wanted to go to Venice really bad. And we're taking this canal ride, a tour through, all the canals. And I remember just crying. I couldn't believe we finally did it. I couldn't believe that dream came true. So you need to think, what did you want in your life? And whatever it is that you want, you can have it, but you have to work for it. It's not going to come easy. No one's going to give it to you. You have to earn it. Up on the top, when Daniel and I first started getting the business going, we didn't have cable in our house. So we had like 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, those channels. And we used to watch Regis and Kelly. So we'd get up, we'd work on painting, we'd eat breakfast, and we'd watch Regis and Kelly. And Regis always would talk about the restaurant in New York called Tavern on the Green in Central Park. I'm like, good enough for Regis, good enough for me. I want to go there. So there's a picture of us. Tavern on the Green, I don't think is there anymore. It's closed now. But Daniel has an aunt in New York, and we're like, we're going to be in New York. We'll meet you there for lunch. And so we went to Tavern on the Green, and we have to take a picture of this. So a super fancy restaurant. And when you're going to New York, you're spending a lot of money, but it's like we had to go, we had to eat there, we had a limo tour with our sisters. We had a great time. So you can make great memories here. This is my younger brother. I'm the oldest. He's 13 years younger than me. So, Max is little in that picture. That was a while ago. But at one point, all of us were raised by my grandma and grandpa. We all ended up living with my grandma and grandpa, not my mom and dad. So he was there at this time. He's probably a freshman in that picture, maybe a sophomore, and he wanted to go to a dance. So he'd call us and he'd say, is there anything I can do at the office? Is there anything that I can do at your house? I want to earn money. I want to go to prom, or I want to go to homecoming, and I need money for a tuxedo. And I'm like, okay, sure, let him earn it, let him work for it so he feels good about it. And we were able to do that for him. So my brother never missed a dance. He went to everything. He played football, and they have this thing at their school where the player brings their mother onto the field, like on homecoming night or whatever night it was. And he picked me to go with him. He's like, you're like my mom, will you be there representing our family? And so I've been able to do that for him. Here's my sister, Candace. I know some of you know her, and Carrie was here earlier picking up kids for me, and that's their wedding. And we had that at our house, and Max and Ava. And you guys, some of you might have seen her tonight. She just started Girl Scouts, and they say, okay, we're going to sell cookies. What's your goal? And she's like, 1,000. I'm like, this is your first year. Let's see. She's like, okay, 500. I'm like, okay, 500. And so her little thing about she's wanting to sell cookies, and we're teaching, Girl Scouts teach you how to sell cookies, and then Primerica teaches you how to sell cookies. So she's sitting down, and Daniel's helping her, and he said, Ava, you want 5 boxes or 10 boxes? Give them an option, give them okay, so I might have gotten calls from her. She hammered out the phone last Sunday. She probably made 70 phone calls. She called everybody we could think of. Like, okay, if she makes the call, they're going to get cookies. We're going through this together. And then, so she has this goal. And then the next day, I said, okay, what, we have your uniform. Want to go talk to the neighbors? She's like, well, can I get back on the phone? I like being on the phone. Of course you do. So, our kids aren't normally at meetings. We don't bring them here. They're not here during meetings. So we were talking, and we thought, okay, the girl wants to sell 500 cookies. She's really motivated to do that. We're going to give her a booth up here at the front. And I'm thinking, my kids, they share their parents a lot with everybody in this room. They got up this morning at 6 o'clock because we had to be at training at 8 o'clock. So 6 o'clock on a Saturday, they're up. They're going to their grandma's house. They're there till we pick them up after training. On Wednesday nights, we're not there with them. So we figured, they share their parents a lot. We're going to have them come to the office and drop sell cookies. Go ahead, knock yourself out, sell cookies. So saw her out there and bought cookies. Thank you. She's happy. And if she's not at 500, she's probably going to be calling you. That's like the equivalent of the $10,000 sword. That's 500, so that's her $10,000 sword. And it was really cute because she's learned these things. Last week when she was on the phone making all those calls, Daniel was out on appointments. And he called home in between to ask her how it was going and stuff. She's like, Dad, you're out there working? I'm here working. I'm on the phone. I'm going to sell those people. You cannot. She's learned that because of the examples that her mom and dad said. So as you parents are sitting in the audience today, you need to think about what kind of example are you setting for your kids? What kind of example are you setting for your team? And I think somebody mentioned it before. People are watching you. You don't know who's watching you. And you think it's just your team, but it's other people too. And it's your kids, and they're watching you. So you want to make sure you set a good example for them. And then Max was here earlier. He helped put up all the decorations. He was here helping too. And supervising Ava and her cookie sales. This was Carrie. A lot of you guys know her. When I got into Primerica, my goal was to be the first person in our family to graduate from college. That was my goal. Nobody had ever done it. I didn't do it because I was too scared to take the public speaking class. So I do have my experience with that. But Carrie lived with us, and she used to watch Max when we went to Auckland, and she would watch Max when we went to Saturday training. And so we were able to help her pay for college. We bought her a new car because I wanted my kids in a safe car, and I wanted my sister in a safe car. And she was the first person in our family to graduate from college. So she's excited there. I'm excited. I'm a little emotional on that picture because she did it. She did it for both of us, for our family, to show that it can be done. But the best thing about that picture is she graduated from college debt-free. Wow. We were able to help her with that, so she was able to not have to pay bills for the rest of her life to pay off a degree that most people never use anyway. And we're very proud of her about that. This is my grandma and my grandpa. I was raised by them. Their last name is Negretti with 2 T's. And that's them. Probably, I don't know, maybe the 80s. We went on a cruise. They took me on a cruise when I was young. They did a lot of stuff for me besides raising me. And they were hard workers. My grandpa has, I think, a 3rd grade education. My grandma actually went to college and she worked for an aerospace company. And we always joke that she's a spy because she acts like she doesn't know what's going on. In her job, she would have to scan her eyes and like all this stuff. I'm like, what is your real job? That's my grandma and my grandpa, and this is me when I was little, and they took me to Mexico on vacation, and we had a great time there. And then this was me when Primerica had their Cancun contest a while back. I took my grandma and grandpa back to Mexico. All expenses paid, all-inclusive resort. I don't know who was happier, my grandpa because there was free beer, or Max because there was free ice cream. All day long. Getting ice cream all day long. But it's still nice the things you can do for your family when you work hard. This is me. I wanted to show you guys this about facing your fears. What is your fear? Everybody has fears. What is yours? And what are you going to do? Are you going to let your fear control you, or are you going to control your fear? So I don't think I was scared of skydiving. Something I actually wanted to do. And Dan always says, why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? So fun. And then the speaking thing, I was scared to do the speaking thing, and that's me at the Builder Summit, probably in LA somewhere, speaking, and I did it, and I lived. So I thought, hey, I can do it once, I can do it again. And then this is just a picture of our family now. I think a lot of you have seen these from Christmas, but we're setting the example for our kids. Everything we do every day, all of us, we're setting the example for our team. And, we always tell our kids, we're going to do all these great things together. And they understand when we have to go on appointments. They understand the reasons why we explain to our kids what we're doing. You want to go to Florida? You want to go do this? Okay, Mom and Dad have to go work. We don't work normal hours like most of your friends' parents. I think you need to let your kids know, because they're like, how come you're not at work at 8 o'clock in the morning? How come Dad goes to work at night? So you have to explain that when you're 6 and you're 10, you don't understand. Everybody else's parents get up early in the morning and they go. So we explained to our kids, our family has a big vision. And I sat down with the kids at the beginning of the year and we kind of wrote out some goals to get them used to writing goals for the year. And, at 6 years old, you kind of don't really know what your goals are. She wanted to hit the reading goal in her class. She wanted to do that. She wants to be the #1 cookie seller in her group, which I think she's going to do that. Max has different goals. He likes computers and technology, and he wanted an iPad, so he has that, and he's been making videos on his iPad, and they're actually really good. I was watching them today. I was like, Max, this is really good. These are funny movies. And so you need to tell your kids by example. You're like, this is what Mom and Dad, we're going to write our goals out, and this is the things that we're going to do, and we're going to work hard, and our family's going to have great things, and we're going to be nice people, and, we love Jesus, and they love Jesus, and they love praying for each other. And my favorite is one time Ava was being crazy. And if you guys know our kids, Max is really calm, and Ava's really crazy, and she was being crazy. He's like, I think we need to pray for Ava. God, let her be calm, or let her pray, or whatever. But, they learn those things from examples. So you need to just, I can't stress this enough. What kind of example are you showing? What kind of example? Like yesterday, Daniel came home. We had a great day yesterday. It was Friday. We had some, good stuff going on. So he took me to the movies. I love to go to the movies. He took me to lunch because I hate to cook. He went shopping. And then he came home. He went on an appointment and came home and he brought roses for me and for Ava. Because he wants her to know what a husband is supposed to do. So this girl has high standards. He's also setting the example for Max what a husband's supposed to do. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I hope you had a great time. I hope you learned a lot tonight. I hope you think about things if you're not super involved yet. Maybe you don't want to be super involved yet, but just do a couple things more to be more involved. Just maybe a better understanding now what partnership is. And we're the chairman of the partnership board, and that's a big deal to us, but we wouldn't be that if we didn't have great partners in our business. And so for us, when we're up on stage and we're seeing you guys in Atlanta, that's because you guys put us there. You are great. We have great partners in our office and in our hierarchy. And I don't know what other business you can go to where you have great examples that you can be around to tell you if you're doing things wrong and to show you the right way. So if this is where you think you need to belong, you're here because you're supposed to be here tonight. However you got here, you were supposed to be here, and I hope you take advantage of that and you commit to your partner. We're going to go to the next level. This is what I'm going to do to help you. I think everybody said it tonight. They all gave you great examples of how you can be a good leader, a good friend, a good partner, and just whatever you can do to become a better you. That's all we want from you. Just come here and be happy and work hard for your family, because you're not doing it for us. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for yourself. And right now there's somebody in your mind that you're thinking of who's going to benefit from Primerica in your family, that you're going to help. So whatever it is that you need to do it, you guys. And I just want to end with that, and I'm going to bring Daniel up here right now. And I just want to let you guys know, when I got in Primerica, I was super shy. And I didn't have a vision of the future. And I didn't think I could do it, and I didn't believe in myself. And these are things that I've learned here. So if maybe that's how you're feeling today. Maybe you're shy, or maybe you're scared. That's okay. That can go away. You can change that. And I need to say this. If it wasn't for Daniel, guys, none of us would be here. And I wouldn't be up here, but I am because he believed in me. And have a vision. And we're not perfect, but we're perfect together. We're perfect for each other. And we're really excited, to be here to do this meeting for you guys. Because we want to see all of you win. So please help me recognize awesome Daniel.
Wow. Great job. Let's give it up for Carmela. The partnership event, I don't have anything to do with anything. I mean, I just get up here at the end, and so I didn't blow up any balloons, all right? I mean, I didn't do anything for this event. This is all put on by Karma and the people that helped her, and so, we feel, I feel very fortunate and lucky that my partner stepped up, and that's a big reason why we're here today, because you guys got to understand. When I started building the business, I learned from people like Hector Lamarck. Okay, now if you know anything about Hector Lamarck, he's not the lovey type. You know what I mean? He's not. No, let's go hug and sing Kumbaya. You know what I mean? So for me, I would recruit them, bring them in, right? And then I'd beat them up a little bit, okay? And then Karma would get them to stay, though. You know what I mean? Karma would get them to, hang out with us some more, right? And she'd, send them little nice cards, and she would, do that kind of stuff. So for me, I feel lucky that I had a partner that stepped up to the plate. Now with that said, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, well, I wish my partner was more like that, or I wish, so-and-so was like that, or whatever. And see, the one thing that you got to remember about partnership is that, your partnership may not be gelling perfectly in Primerica right now, and you may be wishing, sometimes, man, I wish you were more like this, or I wish they did this, or that, or whatever. Well, just remember, look, everything changes when you make a total commitment. I had a little bit off subject, but I had an appointment today, and it didn't go like I would have liked it to go today. All right, it was a fun appointment, okay? And but when I was done and I was talking with the new recruit outside, one of the things that I had told her is that when you go back in there, okay, when you go back in there and talk to these people, okay, you better be serious about what you're doing. And you better make darn sure that they know that you're really serious about what you're doing. Because, see, everything changed. When the commitment level is here, people want to rise to the level of the commitment that you have. Right? At least the right people. Not everybody's going to do it. Not everybody's going to get excited. Not everybody's going to jump. Man, I wish everybody jumped on the dang bandwagon, right? Would be great, wouldn't it? But not everybody does. Not everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon. Not everybody's going to, jump on board with you and, man, let's do it. You can do it. I believe in you, right? Who's going to do that, right? Most people never. They're just not going to do it. Most people. And that's okay. But see, for me, I made a decision. Look, I'm going to go make some money here. I'm going to go show her that I'm going to become the best at this thing. When she would come home at night, I wasn't sitting there watching TV. Right. Okay? When you understand, we don't have beer in our house. Okay? So I don't come home and crack open a beer every night. Okay? We don't do that. Now you might do that, and that's okay. If you want to keep doing that, just keep doing it. Whatever you want to do. Right? We're not going to tell you what you can and cannot do, but I'm just telling you what we did. Okay? Instead of me saying, Karma, jump on my bandwagon, okay? I said, Karma, let me go win here, and then you'll be excited to jump on board with me, okay? And so it wasn't, and you understand, for Karma to do what she did tonight, do you understand? Do you understand how much guts it took to get up here and do what she did tonight?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, see, coming from where she comes from and where she came from, this is unbelievable. So I have so much admiration and so much respect, and I'm so proud of you, Karma, for the woman that you are becoming.
You know, when she gets tough, and, you know, I'm like, hey, babe, you know, don't be so tough. You know, I tell her. She said, you always wanted me to be a strong-willed woman, you know, self-sufficient, independent woman. I said, you know, be careful what you ask for. But when I made a decision that I was going to go lead this thing and have a vision for this thing, it took off. So, but think about this for a second. If I would have allowed her, right, based on who we were, because we all change, hopefully. Look, if you're the same person you were at 21 and 31, then that means you ain't growing. That's not a good thing, by the way. Right? If you only got your stories of your freshman year in high school, how fun it was, okay? If that's the greatest story you got, you ain't living, all right? I'm just telling you, okay? You have to grow a better, right? Like Carmen said, right? We all have to become a better version of us. And by the way, this is how it gets done. This is how we became better versions of us. Going to partnership meetings, going to conventions, going to big events. I know it sounds like all the same stuff. But if you knew it all, you'd already be winning, wouldn't you?
Exactly.
Right? If you already had it down, you'd be done. You'd be in Tahiti by now. Okay, so we don't know it all. We still go to every single meeting. We still go to Saturday training. We still go to conventions. We still go to retreats. We still go to big events, right? We do that because we understand that that's what's creating a better version of us. Okay, which, by the way, RVPs, make sure you pick up your tickets. We do have your tickets, so at least just pick them up, and if you don't, just let us know when you can get us the whatever. But we at least have them all set up for you in the office. But so that's got to be a part of what you're doing here, is your commitment. So check this out. This was Reeves. Superman? Christopher Reeves. 5 days after the accident on Memorial Day weekend, 1995, I became fully conscious and able to make sense. Dr. Scott Henson and Dr. John Jane, Chief of Neurosurgery at University of Virginia Hospital, explained my situation. You see, they told me in detail about the extent of my injury and said that after pneumonia cleared from my lungs, they would operate to reconnect my skull to the top of my spine. They didn't know if the operation would be successful or if I could even survive it. They had a plan, but it was extremely risky and they needed my consent. Dana had insisted over the objections of some of the family that the doctors discuss everything with me and that nothing could be done without my permission. I answered somewhat vaguely, okay, whatever you have to do. You see, ever since childhood, I've been used to solving my problems. Whatever scrape I get myself into, I was always sure of a way out of it. So at first, I thought this was just another temporary problem. I needed surgery, but I'd be up and around before long. It was only after the doctors left that I began to absorb what they had told me. This is a paralyzing injury. Paralyzed. Dana came into the room. We made eye contact. I mouthed my first lucid words to her. Maybe we should let me go. She said, I'm only going to say this once. I will support whatever you want to do because this is your life and this is your decision. But I want you to know that I'll be with you for the long haul, no matter what. Then she added the words that saved my life. You're still you, and I love you. If she had looked away or paused or hesitated, even slightly, or if I had felt that there was a sense of her being noble or fulfilling some sort of obligation to me, I don't know if I would have pulled through. Because it had dawned on me that I had ruined my life and everybody else's. But what Dana said made living seem possible. Because I felt the depth of her love and commitment. I was even able to make a little joke. This is way beyond the marriage vows, in sickness and in health. And she said, I know. I knew then that she was going to be with me forever. So if you want to know what commitment is, that's commitment. So when you make a commitment, especially you that are married here, when you make a commitment to be with somebody for the rest of your life, make that commitment count. Make it something that's really a commitment. And not just when you feel like it. But to say, no matter what you do, I'll still love you. No matter what problems we have, I will still love you. No matter what, I am going to be there for you. See, that's the kind of commitment that we got to make in our life. And see, it's very easy to make a commitment. If Karma wants to go skydiving, I'm committed to that. All right? We're going to make sure that we get on the internet, make sure there's no problems with that skydiving place. Okay? When she wants to do something, I'm going to back her up 150%. When I want to do something, she's going to back me up 150%. We don't give each other props. She told me yesterday, she's like, hey, you're watching the kids tonight. I'm going out with some friends. I didn't give her there was no problem with that. I didn't give her a hassle. Number one, I know that we're committed, and number two, I want her to have a fun life. I want her to enjoy herself. I want her to be happy. Isn't that what we're here? Doesn't everybody want to be happy? Yes. I know that kid back there is happy. I know he's back there. But isn't that what we all want? Don't we want to be happy? Well, I promise you, if you're the backpack full of boulders on the back of your partner, that partner ain't going to be happy, and you sure ain't going to be happy. So ain't nobody happy. So why not? Why not just make a decision to support the one that you said you were going to spend the rest of your life with, or just the person that you made the commitment to that said, yes, I was. Why not come through with that? Why not say, you know what? Let's do this together. Because it kind of is easier when it's two people, wouldn't you agree? Isn't it easier? Isn't it easy? To me, I know it's a lot easier. It's way easier to be able to say, hey, Karma, can you help me with this? Or can you help me with this? No problem, Daniel. Why do you got to give your spouse such a hard time all the time? Why do you got to make them feel guilty that they're going out there trying to give the family a better life? Right? We're all trying to do it to help our family have a better life. And we are living proof in front of you right now. We're living proof that with Primerica, you could have more options in your life. Does everybody want more options? Yes. I don't know about you, but I love getting up whenever I want to get up. I love having the option of sleeping in when I want to sleep in. I love having the option, right, that I get to go to the movie that we get to go to the movie theater with all the retired people. I love that option. Although sometimes it's challenging. Yesterday, after the movie, the guy was talking so loud. I don't think his hearing aid was on. It was so loud that we couldn't hear the movie. But look, nothing's perfect, okay? Nothing's perfect. But I like having the options and the choices to be able to, put our kids in good private schools. I like that option. I like the option that, Karma may in the future homeschool our kids. She's kind of been thinking about doing that. And I like the option that if we want to do that, we can do that if we want to. I like the option that, we get to travel. We are not just living, guys. We're creating our life. I mean, isn't it better to be able to create your life instead of live your life, clocking in each day, going to work, eating, going home, okay, eating a little bit more, getting up when it looks like that outside, and doing it all over again? How many think that sucks, right? That sucks, man. Come on, if you don't think it sucks, you're lying. 100% to have more options, more freedom, more money is better. I promise you. Look, we grew up with not a lot of money. You understand that? And I can tell you, 100,000%, having money is better. Okay? I'm just saying. Now, does it solve all your problems? Absolutely not. Are me and Karma perfect? Absolutely not. Do we fight? You better believe it. Okay? Sometimes I have to sleep with one eye open at night, right? But look, that's just the way it goes. Okay? Ain't nothing perfect in life. I get upset with things that Karma does, and I know she gets upset with things that I do. I ain't perfect. Right? I was watching the video the other day, and I'm like, she was speaking in Colorado, and she's like, if anybody watched that video? If you haven't watched it, go on my Facebook, and it's on my Facebook. It's the Broadmoor video, and it's Karma and me speaking at the event, and we spoke on partnership, and she said, if you're ever married to one of those crazy people, the A personality type people, I said, you call me crazy in front of all. But I am a little bit crazy sometimes, okay? I am an A personality. And I like things done, and I like things done now. We just got our new, by the way, we got new ones for the Success Seminar. They already came in already, so we already have new things. It says building leaders, and then it says do it now. Okay? So that's got to tell you a little bit about my personality. I don't like to do it later. I like to do it now. I just like better to do it now. Now, some people, they like to do it later. That's okay. You're a little bit more normal than I am. My point here is that we all have our personalities. We're all different. We come from all walks of life. We all have our ways of doing things. Our goal is to try to get better every day. I guarantee you I'm a lot, more, a little bit, less crazy than I probably was 10 years ago. But remember that if you're with somebody right now and they're just focused on it, just all day, every day, thinking about it, moving, blowing, going, every day, just remember, right? Later on, when you got your unlimited American Express card, you ain't going to be complaining. When your spouse is taking you on trips all around the world, take you shopping and whenever you want to take a day off, you take a day. Whenever you want to do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, you won't be complaining. I promise you. Every bit of this work, every bit of this kind of these challenges that you're going to go through in the process of building your life and building your business, it's all worth it, man. I mean, Art Williams, what did he say? Man, it ain't always easy. Man, it's worth it. It's so dang worth it to win. It's so dang worth it to go fight for your dreams, fight for your family, fight for your spouse. It's so dang worth it. This is our moment. This is our chance as men and women to step up for our families and to go get the job done. It's time. This is the time to go do that. I want you guys tonight, hopefully you guys, right, take some time tonight and have some conversations together, and maybe really just, sit down one-on-one before you go to bed tonight, just sit down one-on-one and just talk to each other. Tell each other what your goals and dreams are. If you don't know what each other want, I know exactly what Karma wants in her life. And she knows exactly what I want in my life. And I'm willing to fight every single day to give her what she wants. And she's willing to fight every day to give me what I want. Look, guys, You know, it's funny because, you know, Ava, she's freaking so awesome. Do you guys know she's 6 years old? Did you mention she's 6? She's talking about, you know, she'll be salesperson of the year here, right? Girl, right? And all of you better freaking help, all right? So I'm just saying, all right? It's so awesome that you get to raise your kids in a great environment, you know? I mean, Joe, your daughters, man, they're tough, man. They're leaders. They're winners. They're champions. I mean, look at Frank's kids, man. They're just freaking champions, man. Every sense of the word. We're raising the next generation of champions and winners. That's a good thing, by the way. When you got a whole bunch of complainers and whiners out there, and our kids are like in this little bubble of winners and champions, how awesome is that? And so we get to be a part of that. So never take this thing for granted. Never take Primerica. You better fight for Primerica. You better love Primerica. You better be sold out to this dang thing. This company and this business, we are going to change our life because of this company, because of this business. You're going to change your life. See, we're different here. Do you want to be like everybody else? If you want to be an employee, if you want to just kind of hang out and be one of the crowd, you understand that Primerica was not built for those kind of people. Primerica was built for winners. Primerica was built for studs, and I ain't never going to apologize about that.
Yeah.
That's right.
Primerica was built for special people that are willing to step up to the plate and go make their dang dreams come true. And are not afraid to fight for what they believe in. We are different. You understand that, right? You understand? We ain't like everybody else. I don't want to be like everybody else, by the way. I love that I love that we think differently. I love that we do things differently. I love that we have meetings on Saturday night when everybody else is partying at the bar right now. I love that. I love that I get to build a business with the person that I love the most in this world. I love that I get to get up every day and go, all right, what's the day going to go like? Every day ain't perfect, but what's today going to go like? What are we going to do today? What are we going to accomplish today? Who are we going to go help today? Who can we try to, right? Every day we're trying to serve people. We're trying to grow. We're trying to grow as human beings. I've read about 10 books last year. I'm so dang proud of them. Well, they were audio books, but I kind of read them. And I got a tip, all right? I got a tip. If you play it at double the speed, you get through it twice. The guy talks really fast, but you can still understand it, I swear. Understand it. And, but I'm telling you, look, all right? We're growing. Hey, how many audiobooks did you read last year, right? Don't judge, all right? I love that we get up every day and we get to try to grow. We get to try to grow our minds, try to grow our thinking, just try to get better. All right, so tonight, go out and have some fun. Go out on a date tonight. Have a date night tonight. Go out afterwards. Go have some food. Go, have a little bit of drink, and then go home and celebrate like Evelyn was talking about. Thank you so much for making this such an amazing. This is such an amazing group of people. We are so proud to represent you guys. Thank you guys so much for being so committed, for being such leaders. Thank you to all the RVPs and regional leaders and top leaders here for making this event great. This was a great event tonight. Would you guys agree? Yeah.